Hi, it's Sunny Chapman with the Salty Olive and creator of the Feast or Famine No More course, and I'm here for another quick episode of IGTV. I missed my, they're always on Thursdays, just so you know, they're always going to be on Thursdays. I missed my day yesterday because I was in the thick of it. I was a little bit in the thick of it, too in the thick of it to show up. And I'm still showing up, just a day late. But so I want to use that opportunity to talk about something that's super important to me and to you for sure. And that is, so things, if you're not familiar with this concept, things that about ourselves that we disown, certain aspects of ourselves, that we've been taught to disown, that we have been taught are not okay. They're not okay. It's not okay for us to be that thing. It's a bad thing, and we disown that thing. And that thing might be your most powerful thing. It might be one of your greatest gifts. It might be all wrapped up in one of your greatest gifts. And we all have some kind of core wounding around that, some place in our life where we've learned or got the message that it's not okay to be that thing. And so sometimes people will come along in your life. Maybe it's a client, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's even a loved one. Whoever it is, people will come along, maybe even a stranger. People will come along and they'll push that button. They will push that button. And you'll know it by your reaction, because you will suddenly feel usually it looks like you feel like you've been hit by a truck, but you're still in a little bit of shock, so you're not sure how to react. Because it's usually an underhanded kind of a comment. It's an underhanded kind of a thing. First you feel like you've been hit by a truck, and then you might feel deflated. Then you feel maybe enraged, pissed, angry, and then you're sad underneath that, grief. So I went through all the stages yesterday. It was a lot of fun. For me, that thing was, and you might have something similar, or it might be something totally different for you, but try to find what that thing is for you as I'm talking. For me, it's this, well, aren't you fancy? Well, aren't you? Well, oh, la-ti-da, right? And it's not like those specific words were said, but it was implied. It was there. I felt it. It hurt like hell. Because to me, that takes away other fundamental parts of me, which is that I am a loving, generous, caring person who gives so much and who shows up so much and who does so much. But that comment is like, no, you're not. You only care about yourself. You are selfish, and aren't you fancy, and look at you, and you should be doing everything that you do for us, for me, for whatever. So all these things are implied, right? It's just a little comment here or there, and all this wash of emotions comes with it, right? So it hurt like hell, and it brought up all my stuff, and I had to wrestle with it. But I'm here today to re-own those pieces, because they're mine to own, and they don't mean those things about me. So I'm here today to tell you, I'm fancy. I am fancy. In my pajamas, and my messy hair, and my no makeup, and my zit on my nose right now, and all the rest of it. I am fancy. And when I'm fancy to the nines, like wearing my best stuff and my best jewelry and staying in the highest end hotel and making all the dollars, I'm fancy then too. I am a fancy, fancy, fancy girl. So I'm just taking it back. I'm taking it back into my power. It's okay for me to be fancy. It's okay for me to be all that. I'm all that. I am all that. I'm owning it. The person was just coming from their own hurt, from their own place of hurt and feeling less than and insecure. It had nothing to do with me, but it is important for me and for you to re-own those things that stab you in the heart, that you think mean one thing when they don't mean that. Me being fancy and having rich taste and loving beautiful things and loving to be in beautiful places and loving financial freedom and caring about money and all these things do not mean that I don't care about other people, that I'm not extremely generous and kind and loving and filled with heart and soul. It doesn't mean any of those things, but we can make them mean those things, right? And so that's what we have to take back for ourselves. That's what we have to take back and know, like, no, I know myself. I know myself. I know who I am. I know my heart. My heart is good. So I say that in that way because I want you to repeat that. If you have a similar thing as this, or if you have something that makes you feel the same way, hand over heart. I know my heart. My heart is good. Yeah. So that's all I have for today, and thank you for letting me keep it real with you. See you next week on Thursday. Mwah.